Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here, back in Minnesota. Had a wonderful time, a wonderful experience, learning an awful lot in Mississippi. But I came back today, and I'm watching this thing on the news, rioting and looting in Chicago. I heard what the mayor said. I know what the president is going to say. And yet I see people who are continuously engaging in these activities. Now, there are those, ladies and gentlemen, and sisters and brothers, of those of you who found yourselves out there grabbing a box of this and a bag of that. I know you felt pretty good when you got home. And the people were pissed off at you for breaking order. And they don't like that. And so that they say they're coming and getting you. They got everything in place. They can identify you, facial recognition. They get some and the rest to tell. And so they're very peed off. And you didn't look that good. If you consider the education, if you consider the indoctrination. But ladies and gentlemen, what if you don't consider that? And if you don't, what is your reasoning? Is it a good reason? Is it something justifiable that you can look them in the face and repeat to them verbatim, absolutely, what it is that brought you to that point? You see, ladies and gentlemen, you are looked at as being criminals. You are looked at as being crooks and thieves, and that your heads should be bashed in. You should be locked up and put in jail and prison forever because you're messing with somebody's income. You're messing with somebody's money. You know how that game is played. Yeah, you live it every day. You don't come out on the good end of it. That's why you're in the streets. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't know and somebody forgot to tell you. Let me tell you this. Everything on this big ball called Earth, from the grass, the trees, the flowers, and the old broken down, rotting tree trunks, all belong to a power that we can't see, can't touch, and we cannot feel it. Don't care how we try to conjure it up with some emotion, it just ain't there. But if you look around, and if you happen to be outside or any place, you can say, I'm sitting here in this, on that, because the earth exists. And here we are. Here we are. Fruition of something that started a long time ago, that we have been given a position to play in. And what is it? It's life itself. My friends, life, continuous, that process. We got that power. Where do we get it from? From the Maker. Now I want to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. The power that made you, prepared for you. Everybody listen to me, especially you criminals, you crooks, white collar crime too. Land up in prison, land up in beds and jails and stuff like this because you have found yourself committing some violation to the rules that have been set up to keep you where you are at or in jail. And the rules, my friend, are set up to maintain control over you. You see, when the Maker made you, the Maker prepared for you. That's what I want to tell you that's so wonderful. All of the resources that humankind, not just you Americans, not just you black people, not just you white people, or ladies or men, but for all the people on the face of the earth, that wonderful power that we can't see made it possible that everything that we will ever want, especially those things that's essential for survival, like food, clothing, and shelter and education, all of that is provided for. And anything that we can imagine, the resources are either in the earth, on the earth, above the earth. Some of it is seen and unseen, just like electricity. You don't see it, but I guarantee you it plays most of your electronics. All of this, my friends, all of this, my brothers and my sisters, God, that's what I call it. I call it God. I know a lot of people call it God, but they are talking about something altogether different. You see somebody talking about God is over there with Trump, calling themselves, what? Fundamentalists, right-wingers, calling themselves evangelicals, right-wingers, and say, you know, you can put it on hold as long as Trump gives them what they want. Who needs a moral leader? Well, see, people are being taught that, ladies and gentlemen. They are being taught that. The position that you are in, they have been taught to look at you just as we have just been described. But the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, is that all of your needs were prepared for, and the great God set a way that everybody on this earth can live as though they were in heaven. You're talking about dying, going to heaven? That great God made it so possible that you can live right here as if in heaven, because anything you want, anything you can imagine, you got the power to go ahead and do it. Oh, my, 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 my. The world knows that. The powers that be know that. And they're just using you because you don't know the truth. The truth is, the way that all of these beautiful needs and wants and desires can be met are by each of you who benefit from some or any of this. Find yourselves engaged in that creative process. You see, that power that made you put something in you that makes you so desirous of. You want to do it so bad you don't know what to do. And having the opportunity to do it, not just singing or dancing, you know, people get off on that. But some people get off on art, drawing, you know, get off on all kinds of things. It's designed that way. And having the opportunity and the duty and responsibility to engage yourself, you create enough in such an abundance that no human being on the face of the earth will ever need, want, or be desired of anything that they cannot have. Oh, my friends. But now the world says, we don't want that. We don't want everybody to be happy. We want to be happy. It started with what? The pharaohs, the kings, the queens, the Caesars. It started with them, perhaps. The popes. And they all want to be God. And so they want to know more than any of you. And they become con artists, like President Trump right today. He's conning the snake out of you guys. He's conning you so bad you don't know what's up and you don't know what's down. And you're sick of it, but you just have to listen to it because the media is going to give it to you whether you like it or not. But do they tell you that all of this in the world, that all the things that men have put together belongs to all of you? All of you, though you may never in your second-class citizen position, you may never done a decent job. But everything that's created by the hands of man belongs to all people. Belong to all people. And this game, this system that's been set up, designed to do exactly what it's doing and to have you put in prison, have you out on the streets robbing, breaking in buildings, hoping you can get some because you've been held back so long and you can't do nothing of the things that you want to do. And now somebody made you mad and you think that you can go in there and break in a building and grab something and maybe get away with it. Why? Because you've been robbed stiff and don't know it. And the people that's coming at you, the people that's coming to put you in jail to identify you are the ones that's robbing you. Got you living in the ghetto. Got you living in rundown housing. Housing so messed up, the presidents tell the suburbians move or not that we're going to get these scums out of there. You see what they're saying about you, how they treat you, the magnificent God power, but you don't know it. So they treat you like a slave because they've taught you to believe that that's exactly what you are. It's time you stand up, my friend. You stand up. Now, those of you who can vote, I'm telling you the truth. Why don't you go to the polls if you think you deserve better than what you got? And you go into those polls and you write in God. Write in God. No, they're not going to give God a seat in the Oval Office. But this will make a statement to the country. It'll make a statement to the world that God is standing up now. And God has found some people that's going to represent God and give God's way of life the same as we've been given Satan's way of life. We're going to stand up for all of us. We're going to make sure that none of us without food, clothing, and shelter, and education, and health care, and a job, a great job. We're going to make sure that all of us got that our dreams come true because we're going to start loving one another because each of us our bread and butter, and we love it. And we don't need one penny from the World Bank. We don't need one bank from Trump or anybody. We don't need anybody talking no money to us. Why? Because we own everything. Hey, now you take that and smoke it.